morning, people. How you doing? I'll wait for a while for some of you people to come up here. We'll continue from the last episode I was working on. We'll focus on motherboards, so they're gonna be kind of like under an hour. So I'm gonna wait. We got like 5 or 10 minutes before I dive into our conversation. All right. Once again, I want to introduce you guys to CBN Tech Talk. My name is CBN, also known as Black David. I'm an IT professional for almost 22 years in counting. I did it professionally speaking within corporations over the period of my career. Either be banking, either be fashion company, either be PR company, insurance company, um, hospital, both public and private. I've worked with the Board of Education. I've worked with the NYPD. I've worked with MTA. It's a lot. You go to my main YouTube channel homepage. You see my link. I'm on LinkedIn.com. Yes, I'm not going to be someone who come here and pretend to be something I'm not. This is not for me. I'm legit. I love my career. I love what I do. It's allowed me to venture in more in what I want to talk about. But there was some things that some flaws or some past careers that I was wondering why do companies make certain choices? What is the science behind it? If it's worth it or not? Being an IT professional, I question myself, should we as people should be well aware of between the combination of hardware and software utilized properly to get the job done? Now, some companies will do that because they have the budget for it, and some want to stick within the budget, but depend what budget are they working on. Today, on the series concerning what's affecting the computer market today, we focus on motherboards. Now, a fellow YouTuber was trying to think of building a new PC, but he came out of nowhere about I want to get a PC with a 40 series card for like 2,000 to 3,000. Not gonna work. It's not gonna happen. There's a few things that's blocking it. For one, if anybody thinking that you can get a custom-made PC and spend under $4,000 with a 40 series card, either be the 4070 or the 4080 or the 49, you're literally deceiving yourself. Because for one, there's some of the mistake that some of our VPs better make the mistake, but we were not paying attention to it because we want to have a certain part, a certain dynamic, a certain look. We don't realize these hardware are built based on certain generation or certain series. I'm going to focus more into, I wish I could have a co-host who can help you guys out to focus more on the AMD side of things, who understand AMD more than I do. And I'm hoping I put it out there that if I can find somebody who can help me out with this series, it will be much of a great help. It will be very educational. Because I'm more of an Intel guy, so I've worked with Intel for many years. And when I look at the PC builder, I look at the dynamic behind it, I always ask a lot of questions. I do my homework, my research on these things. And I look at it, see what's going on. Right now, I got 3 websites open up. I got the Asus website, I got the Gigabyte website, and I got the MSI website. These are considered the top 3 when it comes to motherboard in the business today. Now, there's another one I should have opened, but I'm not much of a fan of it. That'll be like AS Rock. It was a company that I first started using when I was building my PC called BioStar. Right? Now, I'm not a fan of buying stock. I never knew that about how the cheapest and the crappiest motherboard out there at that time. It was a couple of years ago in the past. I'm not even sure they still exist right now. Let's look that one up. BIOS. This is motherboards. Oh, this is not BIOS though. That's interesting. Oh, there they are. The infamous Wicked Law. I thought about building my PC with this one at first. And I kind of like regret it. The product's not that much reliable. Now, as I'm getting to this conversation concerning this, right? There's something you guys need to know something about building PCs. Right now, we have two operating systems in the market today, or let's say three, Intel side of them. The latest operating system right now is Windows 11. Now, concerning Windows 11, there's a hardware requirement for it to function properly. The same applied to Windows 7, the same applied to Windows 10. Now, for people to upgrade to Windows 11, you have to be coming from Windows 10. It will be the majority of the people out there. Now, if you've heard about it before in the past, they brought out to look about Windows 11, introduction to Windows 11, it require you to have a certain hardware or certain compatibility with it. Now, I will tell you guys this. Now, when you're buying motherboards whatsoever, they kind of like started recently, the past few years, whereby it'll let you know if the motherboard is Windows 7 ready or Windows 10 ready or Windows 11 ready, right? Which is cool. It'll let you know the BIOS, the hardware, the RAM bus, the video card lane, everything work functionally well with hardware and button. But what you need to also know is that when building these PCs is no different from building a house. You gotta think about what kind of platform you're trying to build, what kind of PC you're trying to build for yourself, what is the mean to it. Now, I want you to see something here. On Acer, they got different lineup. They got the RG Republic of Gamer series. They got the Tough Gaming series. They got the Prime. They got the Pro Art. They got the Workstation. They got the CSM. They got Business Expedition. D3 or D4 right here. I'm not gonna focus on these. The top four here, and we'll talk about the going to H, which is the top of the brand, right? They have the RG Republic of Gamers. They got Tough, which is for what the TUF stand for. Gaming. They got the Prime. They got the Pro Art. Lately, it is started to branch out, but for different reasons. For people heavy into gaming, you focus be towards to the RG Republic of Gaming motherboard series. If I click on here, right, what we will do, it will shake everything out. Like you can see, window 11 ready. You go to certain website, they will do that for you right there. They'll let you know which one's ready for window 11, which one is not ready for window 11. So after I scroll down, as you can see, these are the series of motherboard that have available for Republic of Gaming. You know what I'm saying? Now, what I want you guys to understand is this. Even as I'm going, I'm letting it populate. The chipset based on you see D490, D590, D690, D790, right? They varied over a period of times. and look at the basic generation of different chips and hardware that's out there. D270E or the earlier chipset that have been changed recently, or D270 to D280 to D290. Then you got a 370, D380, 390. It started from there based on the Intel chipset, right? Now, technically, they say they're Windows 11 ready. That means they have before these were considered Windows 10 ready. The Z200 series, Z300 series were built to be Windows 10 ready, right? That's what the art behind it. The B series, they're more considered to be the cheaper Intel chipset compared to the Z, right? Now, here we want to explain to you guys concerning the chipsets. Now, based on the chipset, it only determines what kind of hardware you're able to use, right? The Intel Z790 are considered to be the 13th generation. The Intel Z690 is considered to be the 12th generation. The Intel Z590 is considered to be the 11th generation. Same with Z490, that is the 10th generation. Z390 is the 9th. The 370 is the 8th, and with the 270 is the 7th generation. Now, when you look at the chipset, you got to think about the year they came out, where the hardware come out available. The Z790, Z690, the 12th and 13th generation, came with a generation with newer hardwares, whereby one, it comes with DDR5. That's a new generation of RAM. With RAM speed, it's almost 2 times or 3 times faster than that of the DDR4 RAMs. Also come with the 40 series video cards from NVIDIA. Now for AMD video card, I'm not gonna talk too much about it because I'm not very heavy on that yet. I need to do a little more research on that thing concerning the BIOS, the firmware, is it compatible, are there any hiccup or issue concerning that, because there was some news whereby the latest BIOS was crashing some of the video card, which I'm not too sure why. I want to take my time reading into it. Now, for people who want to build PC, there's some things to understand. The Z690 series, the Z790 series, they're considered newer generation, but the price tag of these things are not so much easy on your budget. Let's think about that. Um, Let me make it easy for you guys to understand. I'm going to check out some of these things right here so you can understand where I'm coming from. So I have it highlighted whereby it only shows, or let me just uncheck everything. They only check Z790s and Z690s. Okay, that's fine. Now the Z790s, I'm going to open up like this one, 2, 3, 4. There's a bit of the one loading up. I don't know why it's not loading. There's another set I want you to look at. So let's look at the Asus RG Strix D798. This is not the top brand of the Strix series. Correct. The top brand of the Zero series or the Strix series will be RG. Yeah, there's it right here. I don't know, my mic is in the way. There you go. It will be the top series or the strict series. Now, when it comes to naming convention, what I learned from is the Maximus series of the gaming motherboard is considered to be the best. The strict is supposed to be good, no better, sorry. And the tough series is supposed to be good, good, better, best. Tough series is supposed to be more affordable for gamers for the later generation. The strict series supposed to be somewhere in the middle, just for the budget. And the maximum is supposed to be the best of the best, and it varies, right? Now, the reason I'm showing you these things, right? I want to open up Amazon. And then the reason I'm opening it so you can guys get that understanding of the pricing, right? I'm gonna type in, this is look, 3090. Oh, let me just change that. I'll talk about 790, my bad. 790s. Now, I want you to look at the price. According to Amazon, right, the Asus RG Strict Z3090A gaming motherboard with the price tag, $346.99, right? From the original price to be $309.99. These are the latest generation. Now, when you're building your PC, you gotta ask yourself, you say want to build a PC for like about what, 2 to 3 thousand. If that was the case, minus this from your budget alone, right? You got to add up on these things. When you go on this one, you realize the budget gonna be affected a little bit, depending on what type of gaming system you're trying to build. If you're trying to build something that's really solid, then you really have to spend like between 4 to 5 thousand. I'm telling you that right now. I want you to take note of these things. This is the D790A 346, the top of the brand. Also, the Asus RG Strict Z790E 499. That's $500, right? Scroll down. It's gonna be the white version of the E. That is Asus RG Strict Z790A 389. Asus RG Strict Z790F 419. Now for the smaller one, for in case we want to build like a small form factor or mid tower, the Acer RG Strict D790i 469. Jump to the Maximus, that's probably the best of the best of the series, right? Acer's RG Maximus Z2090 Hero. I got the Hero for the 11th generation. Look at the price for this one. $623.45 compared to the $715.45. Let's bypass this one. This is Gigabyte, right? Now, Gigabyte is not as great at the Asus, but it's coming up. Asus Prime, that probably be the cheaper brand, right? Prime is not like the RG. You may have almost similar chipset, but not the same type of capacitor setup they have for RG. More in detail, right? 790A, $299.99, right? You look at what I'm talking about. The Maximus, the RG Strict series, the price varies. Now, this from the 6 series, the 600 and not the 700 series, mind you. 308. Look at the 6 series, 690, 799. Well, you gotta know that. Top tier, which is cheaper, you can see the price. See 790, $224.99. Now, you're not gonna have the same quality like the Maximus or the Strict, but it's what it is. E760DB referring to the cheaper chipset compared to the D. As you can see, I'm trying to let you guys understand something. This is for AMD, so that doesn't count right now. So I'm trying to show you guys the idea of what is really going on here based on pricing. You know what I'm saying? So when you're looking at this one, the motherboard is compatible for Windows 11, but also more compatible for the upcoming operating for Windows 12, right? So what's going on here? I'm showing you some of the features they have, which is make it easy, right? When you guys have the time, what you guys to look to each of these motherboards, for the Z790s, the Z690, that's the 12th and 13th edition, that is mentioned. You find out the features are different based on each series of the motherboard you're looking for. This is Asus right here. Um, this is the Asus A790A. Then on the H, the Maximus, like I told you before, based on branding, right? Okay, I'll show you the price. Now, I'll check out of this one. Then I'll go down to the 590s. My PC is based on the 590s right now, which is still kind of affordable. It's not breaking my budget, but I can still get it. It depends on the series. Right, we go to Amazon again. It's in 590s. Now look at the budget, 265. Now I want you to show you something. Some people go to overprice these things just for the sake of trying to get some money out of it. And normally, when that happens, the demand may be high for these things. But when you notice something, the person here put it for $265, right? Their generation better than this to the degree. Explain to me why they price it above that. That's when they're talking funny. Refurbished price, 159, 159. Right here again, supply and demand. Same one over here, 159. This is all we knew, right? Now, this the mobile I wanted to purchase for myself, but it's based on the branding of it. Maximum Seed I consider very the best branding out there. The here will be like around two something, but look at it, the extreme is like 810. That because maybe based on the supply and demand, there's not many of these out there, but the demand for these things are high, so that's why the price jump up here. This one come with a built-in water block. Look at that price. I'm not gonna tell anybody to go after these things if you take the case you're trying to ban some extreme build. If you're gonna spend this one for the mobile, you might well just go to the 690s and the 790 series. That's up to you guys. I'm not doing well, yeah. This doesn't count. This doesn't count. Funny how Amazon, when you put what you're looking for, they just that throw a button and to change their algorithm so people can stick to what they're looking for. There you go. Asus RNG Maximus 13 here. These are 593. Look at the price on this one. You know, I'm showing you this. Look what's going on. When you build the PC, the motherboard is like the foundation of the PC you want to have, right? You need to know what we'll build it on. Based on building the PCs, you working with the type of chipset or the processor. You're dealing with the Intel 11th gen, the 10th gen processor. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I'm going to the processor, right, Intel, then let me go back to the conference. I don't want to forget it. Uh, products. processors. Okay, Intel Core processor. Now you notice something here. You got Intel Core processor, Intel Pentium processor, Intel processor. These are more likely servers. These more like the what would I call these? Atom processors. More like an all-in-one. It's most for these all-in-one PC designs. These are for Intel. I forgot what those ones for. These would be the cheap processors that you can look right now. They organize everything. You got 4 generations. When they first started doing the I series, these Intel Core I series came right after the Pentium. The i3, the i5, the i7. You got 4 generations. You got fifth generation. You got sixth generation. You got seventh. You got eight. You got ninth. You got 10. 11 generation. There you go. It's around the eighth generation they introduced the i9. When they started doing the name coming through the fourth generation, they came out with the i3, the i5, the i7 generation processor. And they had the M. They came on to the fifth. M came in the fifth generation. And it stayed on continuously. Now, if you notice in the ninth generation, you don't hear about the M processor no more. You could do with the i3, the i5, the i7, the i9. The i9 processor continued to be the extreme processor. The i7 continued to be the workhorse. The i5, the i3 continued to be the what would the term that you call it? Not the workhorse. The cheap version of the i7. Now, going to the i9 and the i7. Naming convention, yeah, that was correct. The processor I have is the i9 11900 K. This one's right here. Now, the base speed is 350 gigahertz, when the max speed is 530 when fully overclock. Now, we're going to show you this. When you build these motherboards, the Z590, the Z490 are considered to be Z490 10th generation, Z590 11th generation. When you're building these PCs, you want to look at your budget. You have to figure out how much you're going to spend on the motherboards. You have to figure out how much you're going to spend on the CPU. Those two, I will not say it will take a chunk, but it will take a good amount of your budget. Just like you're building a house. So when you're building a motherboard, well, you know, not building a motherboard, when you're building a PC, based on how much you want to put on one, let's say you want to spend about $200 or $300. No, not $1,000. That's about $2,000 to $3,000 building a PC. You have to be very, very careful what you're going for, what you're targeting. If you're going to build a PC and your budget between $2,000 to $3,000, you gotta ask yourself, okay, how much I'm gonna spend on the motherboard? What is the base of all your PC building? That's one. You don't want to jump to Windows 11 too soon. You're still Windows 10. Windows 10 life cycle and at 2025. Give you 2 years, right? But at the same time, you want to future-proof your PC. So I would suggest that within the 10th generation and the 11th generation series on the motherboard, it is considered to be number one out there right now today. Gigabyte and MSI a computer for first, or second, and third place. AS Rock is considered to be fourth automatically. BioStar, which is not so much reliable to me. Some people still use it. I don't know why. It's their choice. Now, Intel used to make motherboard 2 back then, but they could not compete no more, so they could doing the chipset for motherboard. So, now, another thing I want to tell you what to be careful about. Another thing been my PC building. When you buying PC parts, let's say you're buying your motherboard from Asus, I would advise you to make sure you get the video card also from Asus as well. And the reason I'm telling you this is that when I had, for example, Asus motherboard. Then I bought a gigabit video card. Right? See what happened. When I built my PC and I put these two together, I knew when I'm having too many software being installed. I installed the software for the Asus motherboard, and I'm installing software for the gigabyte video cards. There could be some weird conflict of interest whereby the software I put in for the gigabyte could be conflicting with that on the Asus RG. I don't know why, but it could happen from time to time. It may not happen. I would suggest wherever you're building your PC on, let's say is this Asus motherboard, stick with the Asus video card. If it's the gigabyte motherboard, stick with the gigabyte video card. If it's the MSI motherboard, that'll be the MSI video card. Just to eliminate any type of weird hiccup. That's what I want to tell you about that. Now, remember, I'll tell you the motherboard is like the foundation of the PC builder. When you buy your motherboard, either be the 10th generation or the 11th generation, it's all based on the processor. One thing I always want to know is this: between the 10th and the 12th, 11th motherboard, Intel 10th generation and Intel 11th generation processor can work on both based on the BIOS setup. So you can buy a 11th gen processor and plug it on the 10th gen motherboard, which will not be a problem. What you will notice is a slight reduction of performance. That's what's going to happen. But when I say everything based on generations, when they built the 10th generation motherboard, they built the 10th generation processor. And the video cards, the series that work well with the 10th generation and the 11th generation, after the NVIDIA RTX 30 series. Now, if you want to be a little bit cheaper going on to the 8th and 9th generation, it's the 20 series that works well with those type of motherboards. It's designed to work hand by hand with the chipset of Intel have on them, but they apply to AMD, but I'm not an AMD kind of guy. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, when you buy the motherboard, you gotta think about the price. For that. Yeah, you gotta be concerned about the pricing you're paying for the motherboards. The motherboard pricing is very crucial for your budget. I'm not gonna tell you to be too cheap on it. I'm not gonna tell you to be too expensive on it. What you want to do is look at what will be your budget going to be like when you're buying a PC, so it will fit within your pocket. You spend between 200 to 400. That'll be the most logical price. And that actually be super cheap. Now, here's the trick behind it. You can find people who are selling their PC parts for much cheaper than the MSRP price. You can go to Newegg. You can go to Amazon. You can go to Tiger Direct. Um, Facebook Marketplace. There are a few other websites and another website that is fairly new, but what's the name of it? I'm trying to remember in my head. Remember correctly, it'd be Java, right? Correct? Be correct or wrong. Yeah, I still get calls from time to time people trying to offer me jobs. Don't tell me to cite it now. I'm looking job. Java. No. This is Microsoft Bing. Imagine if I'm using the Microsoft Edge browser. I couldn't pick up with Google. Okay, this is the website I want to let you guys know about. It's called Java. This website people who come in here to find a way to get rid of their PC part they have. Where you can find commit custom PC, you can find GPU, you can find CPU, laptop, console, case, monitor, etc. There are people here selling their PC here because they can't sell it at on Facebook Marketplace. They feel that it is much secure, much safe for them to do it so, right? So you can find, look at this for example, EVGA RTX 3070 XC3 Black for $325 and so on. People come here to sell their PCs, their processor, their game console. I would advise people to come to browse for a while and click on this one, custom PCs. If anyone trying to buy a custom PC that's all being built all the way through, um, look at the pricing. People are doing their best trying to figure out to get rid of their PC in case they don't want to be on PC no more or go to the game console, or they're trying to build a new PC or something else. It's what it is. People are trying to custom PCs here. That's why I clicked to let you guys know. You can also find motherboards here as well too. We'll go back. I want you guys to understand this website. It's called, you go to www.jawa.gg. You can find some PC part here for cheap. Let me type here motherboard so I'm talking about them. I'm gonna start earlier in the morning, but something. Type in motherboards. Boom, there you go. People are selling their motherboard for all different series, all different generations. Look at this. The Asus Z590 ITX, which is a very small motherboard for 250. Not bad. The one's on the Z-Tech, I don't know how to pronounce that one. And the XT, another brand I'm not really familiar. I don't really too much trust with that brand. 124, not cheap. You got H-Rock. Some people tell this for part, this MSI. You got MSI MP D690. Not bad. For $114. Someone selling the Maxima Serial D690 for $284. That's a good deal. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is 12th generation. What else you can scroll down to see? Not for AMD. AMD. Now, do people do get sold out? Yeah. Some people do get their business bought. Once you find someone who can buy it as soon as possible, you're good at it. It's just to show that people will find a way to get rid of this. You know, and they find who want to buy it off them and they get it shipped out. Also, if you have any PT part you trying to sell, including you, Mandro, I think that'd be the best part for you. Go through your inventories, you want to sell and get rid of. Then from there, you can mark it out. I'm sure you got a ton of hardware to get rid of. You can go to this website right here. It's called Jawa. To everybody who are trying to get with any old PT part, in case you want to find one who can buy it off them, you can open your own new account, create a store, start listening properly, either from CPU, from GPU, from RAM, from power supply, whatever it may be, even monitors. So I'm showing this right now. Just going forward, guys, if you want to build a PC, remember, start with the motherboard. What kind of motherboard you want to get? What kind of brand you want to get? You want to get the best of the best brand? To me, Asus is number one. Hey, Wally, how you doing? The second best brand I'm going to get. The Asus is number one brand to me. Now, there's other PT better I will say otherwise. Oh, Asus is not the best to them. They would say Gigabyte is the best. The top four brand out there are Asus motherboards, Gigabyte motherboards, MSI motherboards, and AS Rock. When I advise you to go to BioStar, let them be super cheap or you want to take a risk, that's just up to you. Now, if you can go to Amazon to buy a part, the site I was showing to you guys is called Jawa. That is www.jawa.gg. This is an online store for anybody, and I mean anybody and everybody. If you're trying to buy a PT part for cheap, or you're trying to sell your part for cheap, this is the place I would recommend you to go to. Now, you can also go to Newegg, or there's a store called Micro Center. Micro Center is far better than go to Best Buy. If you want to build a PC and you want to build something affordable for you and in your region, look up microcenter.com. I will type it out so you know what I'm referring to. In a moment. We're going to have a talk about possibly building a PC. Okay, we will talk with you about that one. Microcenter.com. This place, I'm telling you guys, you're not gonna believe, you may think I'm playing around with you, but this is the store for all nerd and guys. Go to the Micro Center based on location. I live in New York City. So they got one in Brooklyn, they got one in Long Island, they got one in Yonkers, which is near the border of Bronx. 3 locations. They got one in Jersey. I don't know where in Jersey, I forgot where it will be at. I think it's Jersey City, I'm not too sure. Some of my favorite YouTubers I follow, they go to Micro Center heavy. J2 said go to Micro Center. Gamer Nexa go to Micro Center. Paul Howard go there. Lima Tech go there. They're the best place to go to get PC part, whatever. But they have a, what would they call it? Like, they're not like the Geek Squad. They're better than the Geek Squad. I have to say they are. They actually help you build your PC from start to finish. You can sit down with these folks in case when I talk about building the PC, they will educate you what you need to look for. Now, I'm telling you right now, just to save your budget, avoid going to the 12th generation, 13th generation motherboard. You want to go from 10 generation, no, 11 generation, 10 generation, and try within your budget. You can find PC part on Facebook Marketplace, which I will, let me see what I can do. It, www.facebook. Log on last, who knows? I do everything, yeah. Give me a moment. I do everything on this. I don't normally browse on Edge. I browse on Chrome. So there you go. I can't stay too long until they make sure I get back to work. Then I go to Facebook Marketplace. I have my listing, guys. I'm telling my PC part as well too. Now, when you go over here, they what Facebook Marketplace look like. You can buy all. People are selling their stuff here, right? People are selling motherboard. People are selling monitors here. Let me go and pick, for example, it's just motherboards. Now you can see the price. I wasn't lying to you guys. Asus motherboard, that will have to be the Z590E, $180. Like I say, I wasn't lying. Z490, $250. Z390, $330. $250 for the X570E, that's for AMD. $160 for Z496. People are actually selling their motherboard for a cheaper price than the MSRP. This is 12th generation. The Asus Maximus Z690 Apex. It is top of the line brand for the 12th generation, 500. People are selling combos for both motherboard and CPU, 450, 550. That is the 10th generation, $250 for the Asus RG Maximus 12 Formula, 250. And I went by that BT. This one for the extreme motherboard that comes with the Threadripper. That the Asus RG Strict TRX 40 E game 800. As you can see, as I scroll down, Facebook Marketplace, they would exactly what it look like in case you want to buy a PC power tool, or you want to buy a custom PC. Custom PC. Voila. People are selling their already pre-built PC already for 2,000, 1,200, 1,800, 1,750, 450, 825, 400. I'm in New York City, Brooklyn, New York. So you can see some people trying to sell a service that they actually build a PC for you. Others, well, they just sell the PC, they either want it no more or they try to give it out of their hand. You find the various prices whatsoever. This is Facebook Marketplace. This is what it look like when it comes to buying a PC. I will advise you based on your neighborhood. Like you know your neighbor, be careful what you go purchase. Make sure they have an option you can pay through Facebook so that you can protect your money and get access. So when you pay for it through Facebook, it's being tracked. Now, every time pay to my front, I would suggest doing from a police station, do from a bank or a place whereby there's a lot of police officers or you can be safe. But today you got people going a little haywire. I'm not too sure, but I'll tell you, be careful. If you want the PT to be shipped to you, make sure you can pay through Facebook Marketplace, not through no third party. Like I got PayPal, which is safe for me, but when I do business, I want to make sure I put the tracking number. If I'm selling that part to you, I make sure I put the tracking number in there so you can track it when it comes to you. Whatever. Or you do it through Zillow, that's some people will do. That's another thing as well. But be careful about that. I need to wrap this up. When we're entering the threshold, I'm gonna do it under an hour. When you want to buy a PC part, look, stick to your budget. I'm trying to tell you guys. You can find pre-built PC already that people have already built already. People have a different price. I'm trying to show you guys what it looks like when you go to the marketplace, so you can make the right decision to make for yourself. But if you want to build from ground up, remember what I say. You gotta look at your budget. I will not advise you to buy everything all at once. Buy it piece by piece by piece by piece. That's how I got my PC built. But the first thing I look at, okay, what kind of money am I going to get? Go get top of the line. Can I get a top of the line motherboard for a much cheaper price than an MSRP? I go to Facebook Marketplace. I go to eBay. eBay is another one. I go to Tiger Direct. eBay. Let me show you eBay also. So here, make sure I stay within eBay. Motherboard CPU combo. Voila. And it varies. Some you can bid, some you can pay off immediately. Depend what fits your needs. You know what I'm saying? New York can be good too also, but if you tight on a budget, eBay will be good for you. This one here, Java, once again, is www.jawa.gg, or you go to Facebook Marketplace and see you can find a good deal from there. That's what I would advise you to do. So this episode is only going to be focused on motherboard, like I was saying before. I'm trying to explain to you guys what you can and cannot do. The top four brands, like I said before, are Asus, Gigabyte, which I don't want to go into the Gigabyte, so I'm not too much of a fan of them. MSI, and then AS Rock. Wherever that you fit your needs, do your homework, do your review about how you want to go about it. So you start with the motherboard for that's the first thing you're gonna look for. Second be the process, what kind of process you're getting. Are you getting the i3? Are you getting the i5? Are you getting the i7 or the i9? That will be the next episode. On the next episode, I'll do not a feedback, but a review of what I'll talk about on this episode about motherboard, what you should look for, what you should think you should get and what to acquire. Guys, I want to make sure I make it easy for you guys to understand when you come to buying. It's just like you buying a home. You want to base your budget on where your budget will go to, from your motherboard to your GPU to your RAM to the video card, the case, the power supply, CPU fan, and etc. I will break it down piece by piece, but remember, It'd be safer to build a PT that with a flexible budget, but don't buy everything all at once. You can buy it piece by piece over the period of time. Look out for deals. Sometimes Amazon have deal. It does that too. Sometimes you can find a deal on eBay. Sometimes you can find a deal on Microcenter. Take note, do your homework. I'm gonna end this episode real quick. We're gonna get back to work. I take some of my time out to make sure I can educate you guys around this thing. But please, 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 take your time before you build a PT. Figure out what kind of budget you have, you can afford. If you can't get them all at once, get them up piece by piece. Maybe say you get a one motherboard for today, for this week. 2, 3 weeks later, you're able to get a CPU. As the time go on, you can find deal a lot of cost. You might be lucky. I caught some good deals before in the past, yeah. I remember I tell Wally about I got the A to the RG Maximus, which the motherboard to go for like $350, almost $400 for like $215. It was a great deal. Now I'm kind of getting a little greedy. I want to go up to the Aces Max. I want to get the Aces well, RG Maximus Extreme. Since I got the Hero, I'm like, nah, the Extreme will be better, but everything's based on budget. So take your time out before you plan through. Make sure pick them piece by piece. If you're not into comfortable building a PT, find someone with get who the PT junkie, just like me or better, who can walk you through the process. All right. On that note, guys, I'm thinking back to work. I got a job to do. See you next time. Peace.